Okay, I think now let's start the class. Okay, so today, as per the schedule, that is block 1, unit number 4, that is mathematical induction. Okay, that we have to start. So let's join some 33. Shall I start or shall I wait for some 2-3 minutes? Because now it is 8. Let's see for joining for at least another 5 to 10 students. Only. Anyway, so before that, as usual, so first we have to discuss about, first let's see the definition. I mean, clear the concept of regarding the mathematical induction. What is mathematical induction and why it is required? Basically, it is a tools, a mathematical tools. Through these tools, you have to prove, or whether I can say, you have to ensure that the statements are, what are the statement that is true or false, that you have to identify. Statement, as usual, know. So, for example, if I say Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan, so yeah, as you know, it is true because everybody knows that Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan. There is no argument, nothing. It is true, universal truth. Or I can say, if Earth is moving around Sun, it is universal truth. So no problem. So need not to calculate, need not to identify the things which are already truth. That is universal truth. But sometimes, as a computer engineer, you should have some statements that's coming during the programming or something. At that time, you have to prove it is true or false. So that type of situation, some process is there. Through this process or through this tool, you have to reach that conclusions. Yes, it is true. So some of these steps are considered that is mathematical induction process. Or another example, if I say, suppose for example, if I say 2 divides 6, it is true because if I divide 6 by 2, the result is 3. So you will get the result, and that is true also. If I say, for example, there are 5 days a week. There are 5 days a week. It is true or false? No, because we know, everybody knows 7 days a week. 7 days में एक हफ्ता बनता है. So it is not true. How do you know? Because it is already calculated. And as you know, so that statement is wrong. If I say 2 divides by 6, 2 divides 6, so it is true. So this way, the statement, that's what are the statement that is true or false, you have to identify, because I'm just giving some example only. So other way you can see, suppose for example, uh, you imagine you are climbing two rod, one of the rod is there, right? And you are climbing one by one. Or you can say staircase, first floor, second floor, third floor, by the stairs you are going. So if you first reach the first floor, I mean first step, then it is almost sure you have some confidence. Okay, then I can go to second floor also. And again, if you reach second floor, then you will be more confident and you sure, okay, then I can reach to third floor also. So that means by steps, you are proving yourself, and at the same time, you are reaching to the result. But it doesn't mean always true. It is just some sort of assumption or ascertain. Some first of all, you have to take some belief, means okay, I can reach there. All the friends are giving a confidence. Okay, you start this. Definitely you can do it. Suppose you are climbing something, everybody are clapping. Start, do it. That confidence they are believing. That means it's some belief. Your belief, you can climb up to first stages. As soon as you reach in the first stage, your other friends will giving you another motivation, another way. Okay, you start, you try to go other stairs. So this is the way the belief system are coming. So first of all, any statement are coming as a computer engineer, first you have to believe something, let do it. Prove it true first stages. When you proving the first stage, then you go ahead. Then definitely the second stage also you have to prove it, and third, fourth, so on. So I think I don't know. Then I have to clarify or not. So if I start the solution, if you see the solution one by one, then it will be more interesting and will be better. You can understand. Very interesting. And as of mathematical induction, that chapter is important because one question is definitely coming. So 5 marks you will get in the question paper, and there are hardly 4 to 5 steps. As such, there is a no formula. Actually, there is a no formula, only concept and some technique you have to know it. So I will show you one by one steps. You will, after doing this, you will see it is so easy, very easy. Only you have to remember the steps and techniques. So shall I go for sharing mode, or in between the, if any questions, any doubts, you can ask before start the sharing mode. Anybody anything doubts? You can unmute the mic and say something. Who can say something about what you understand, what I am telling right now? Who can explain a little bit? Or shall I ask somebody? Manshi, I think Mansi Singh, you are seeing in the panel. Mansi is here. Are you hearing me? Nobody is raising their hand. Who can tell? Ravi Sharma. Ravi, are you able to hear me? I am audible or not? I think I don't know sound
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
coming.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So Rabina Kumari, okay.
Yes.
Tell me what is the mathematical induction? Have you listened what I've said? So shall I show straight away the sharing presentation? That is more better, I think so. Okay, then I can start the presentation.
Yes.
And if in between, if any doubt, you can ask me. Don't hesitate to, because it's a class now. There is
Yes,
a
sir.
time to understand everything actually.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, no problem. I think response on them coming. So better I can show the sharing mode. If any doubt, if any problem you are facing, you can interrupt me, you can stop me and ask something more. Okay. So carefully listen, because it is all are interesting. Yeah. Okay, before start, just as usual, just open your camera, and so that I can take a good photo, a screenshot. I have to take some screenshot. Just open it for time being. Okay. Anurag, please come. When I'm asking something regarding the, nobody is there, but now see, camera is on. Everybody are in the program. Very good. Okay, fine. So I can take a photo, and so there are panels. Okay, fine. So everybody are present. Very nice, good photos. So Devanil is there. Roy, no. Okay, his camera may be not correct. So let's see how it has come. Okay, just wait a minute, and I'll see the photograph. It has come or not. Yes, it has come. No problem. So I can save the photos in the folder IGNOU BCAOL online counseling session 2 days 9, and dot save. Okay, thank you very much. So now we can switch off the camera, or for better internet connections, or otherwise. Maharaj Uddin, I think you are from Kashmir, I think, is it not? Maharaj
Yes,
Uddin,
sir. Yes,
you
sir.
are
Yes,
from
sir.
Kashmir, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, during the induction
Thank you.
program, I have seen you. Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yes, yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you are understanding what I am saying? Hindi, I
Yes,
think
sir.
you have some problem, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand
So it
Hindi
is
as well as
understood.
English also. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So now, yeah. So what the way I am saying it is understandable. I mean, that is okay.
Yes.
Shall I?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yes.
Okay, it's okay. Okay, fine. So
Okay, sir.
now I think I have to go for sharing mode and show you one by one the presentation,
Six.
and hopefully that will be very good interacting chapters, very interesting chapters. And I hope during this class you can understand fully. If any doubt, you can ask me in between. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So now sharing the things. I can just show you a little bit what the photo I have taken. This is the photo are coming like this. So photo is already there. Not all photos come, only one thing. But anyway, now this is the things I have to discuss with you. I think I go to the last page and coming this way. Coming to I can start with that way actually. So that will be more clear. Suppose there is actually statement. So 2 divides 6. It means it is true because we know always 2 divides by, suppose if it is a 7 instead of 6 it is 7. So that statement is not true. We can say it because 2 divides 6 only. 2 divides 7, no. In this case, Jaipur is the capital of Rajasthan. It is true. There are 5 days in week, not true. So this is the some sort of statement means you have to identify it is true or not based on your past experience or by the calculations. Okay. Now then you have to already discuss a little bit, but still I am showing the things. To main mathematical tool we use to prove statements about the sequence in induction. That is one of the points. Another point is, imagine that you are climbing a infinitely high ladder. How do you know whether you will be able to reach an arbitrarily high rung, means some sort of rod where the steps are there, some sort of rod means it is some sort of single ladder people are climbing. Suppose you make the following two assertions mean in the case of statements strongly believe about your climbing abilities. First, I can definitely reach the first rung and first position, where once I get any rung, I can always climb to the next one up, means another stairs. So considering these, if both the statements are true, suppose both the statements are true, then by statement 1, suppose that this is statement 1, you can get to the second. Means here actually, suppose this is a statement 1, if it is fulfilled, so based on this you can go ahead for second statement. That is the meaning. So you can get to the second by the second statement 2 again, and you can get to the third, fourth, etc. Okay, so this logic just keeping in mind, then I will start the solution. It will be more easy. So both of these assertions means both of the conditions, the statement which you are believing are necessary for you to get anywhere on the ladder, because the ladder may be 4 steps, 5 steps, 6 steps, whatever it is. But where you are considering the assertion that both the things are to be necessary. So if only one statement is true, you have no guarantee of getting beyond the first rank. So if only statement 2 is true, you may never be able to get started. That means both the statements should be true. Then only you can carry on. That means you are go ahead. First statement is not true, then you cannot start it. Definitely, you cannot go reach the first step, second step, or third step. So first step definitely should be true. Then you can at least you can start the things. But it doesn't mean you can. The second statement is also to be true. So you have to prove it. Anyway, just keep in mind this condition only. So you may never be able to get started. So Pn, in this case, suppose the first statement Pn, we are considering Pn, the properties. N in this case, the actually integer, whatever the integer is, it may be a 1, it may be 2, it may be 3, just considering to denote the positive integers. N having the property of P. So we are considering the first statement, that is we have to denote it P in bracket small n. There are two assertions we are taking. As I told you, there are two assertions, two statement you have to initially, before start, you have to take it considerations. So first thing, you can consider first step, instead of n, you can put a 1. So p in bracket 1. So you try to make it true. That means your first step when you are climbing something. So first you have to prove first step is true. First statement is true, considering p is equal to 1. In case basically where the n, you can put the value in place of n 1. You have to put a 1. During the solution you will be more understanding. Then second two, for any positive k, so if p in bracket k is true, so in the second condition you have to consider instead of 1 you can put it a k. So second step. Then continuing all these things, so p, then after that the third step you can say it, p plus 1 is true. So step by steps you are proving that it is true. So both the cases should be true. So first stage p1, you can put it 1 in place of n. You have to see it that your calculation is correct or not. If it is okay, it is true, then go ahead. Then you considering pk, then you have to prove it k plus 1 is also true. Then this way you can say it, the statement is total statement is true. Okay. Basically the first p1, when I considering in place of n is n1, or you can, there's a step 1. Step 1 is a, normally we are calling it a base case, just foundation. You can say it is a base case foundation portions. And second, that is the inductive case. When you are putting k, then k plus 1, this is all are inductive. You are inducting something. So that is the inductive case. It is a base case. When I putting 1, that is a base. And we are putting k or k plus 1, that is inductive case. That is p in bracket k plus 1. So that's all the theory part. Now I can straight away see the numericals. It's okay. So this is straight away I am taking last year question paper. So if you understand this type of question are coming in the exam straight away. Very easy. I can tell you. Suppose it is December 2021, latest questions. Use the principle of mathematical induction to show that 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus dash whatever it is, that statement you have to prove it. You have to show which is the result. It is true or not, that you have to prove by principle of mathematical induction. So as I told you, theoretically there are 3 steps: step 1, step 2, and then you have to conclude it. Yes. So now see, based on this concept, principle of mathematical, we have to derive it. So in this case, you see here k is written. So there is no n. So need not to take n when the k is already there. So you can straight away go for k. So let pk denotes the above equation. Okay, where n is equal to 1. But I mean k is equal to 1 basically. So pk, if I write the pk, so simply you can change in where the in this case it is same, because no changes. Whatever the question has given, same thing you are just denote the pk, and same thing you can write it. Okay, you're starting the pk denotes. Otherwise, if in this case n is there, then we can take it a step 1. But in this case k is already there, so need not to change it. Now proving step 1. So we have now in place of k we can write it 1. Now we can write it 1. Now here you have to not to write where the k is there. You see, here k is there, here k is here, either k is there. So this k will be replaced by 1. So you see the 3 into 1, in place of k, we are putting 1 because we are considering the k. We are taking a k, 1, where k is equal to 1. So, and minus 2 this side. Then going to right hand side, 1 by 2 is remain. In place of k, you are putting 1, and in bracket 3 into 1 minus 1. Okay. Now you solve it. So 3 minus 3 into 1, 3 minus 2. So we are getting 1 equal to, here in this case simple. So 3 minus 1 in the top, 1 into 3 minus 1, this, and this 2 is in the bottom. So if you these things, if we calculate it, what will come? That is 2 by 2. So if we cross it, simply 1, the result is 1. So this means left hand side and right hand side are both same. In the equation, what are the equations is given? There left hand side is 1 starting, here is coming 1. When you are replacing the k is equal to 1, and here is also after the calculation, after the solve, also we are getting the 1. That means both the side is, we are getting 1. If it is some differences, then not true. But in case it is a same thing, so we can say it is a true. So our first step is true. Why we have did it? We did simply change the k value. Instead of k, we are putting in 1, and let's see what happened. So our first step we are achieved, mean that is true. Now going to second step. Second step, what happened? Let pk be true. In this case, we are again considering that these things are true. Then now we shall now show, actually now we have to show it that p in bracket k plus 1 is true. So this is by the condition, as per the mathematical induction, you have to take it that way also. So now in place of k, we have to change it k plus 1. Earlier we did it, in the case of k, we put a 1. Now here, in place of k, we have to put complete things k plus 1. So as usual, 1 plus 4 plus 7 plus this. Now here actually, you see, this part is there. Now it is 3k. Better, I think I can go this yes. So now you can clearly see this part is okay. Same thing we have written here, up to 3k plus 1 we have written. Now we can change it. How it has changed? 3 plus k plus 1. This part is, you shall just see this part. Now basically it is an add-on. We are adding both the things, k plus 1, k plus in both the sides in the equations. Here actually you see 1 by 2, k in place of k plus 1, and 3, that is k again, k plus 1, and this minus 1. So where the k is there, we are just replacing k plus 1. There is also k plus 1 minus 2. Now question is why it is coming? Because it is already there. We just add another things here only, because after that whatever the things are coming, it is here only. And here actually also we are putting changing the k part. That is, now we can say that is a right hand side. Now we have to prove, we have to calculate this part, left hand side, and show you the right hand side is same. If it is the same, we can say true. How it has come? Let's see. Now you see 1 plus, now 1 plus 4 plus 7, 3k minus 2, as usual, it is there, and 3k plus 1 minus 2. Here actually these things. Now maybe you are confusing why this part and this part. Here actually see basically you are adding one after that. If you see consider the 1, then after 4, then 7, then like this, there is a previous before. It is before the things should there. We are just add these things additionals. Here is also you see that's add of these things. We are adding these things. Now after the calculation, if we see the considering the left hand side, so complete I just put a underline. You see this is we are putting underline. Up to this, it is already calculated. The value is calculated. How much? This much. This from the equation. We can say it is a equation number 1. We can put it. Same thing 1 by 2 k and 3k minus 1. This part totally you can put it here. You see same thing here. Actually, I put it. Just put it under. So just see my cursor. What I am showing you, same thing. You can delete these things. I can put this much. This is the same thing. 1 by 2 k 3k minus 1 is already written. So now after that this part is there. So now it is reduced. This part is reduced, and we can put 1 by 2k 3k minus 1. From where we get it? Because it is equation from the equation 1. It is already there. Same thing. It is already there. So we can take it this portion 1 by 2k in bracket 3k minus 1. You can straight away we can put here. After that, this portion is additional part which you have calculated. That is. Now you solve it. After that, then after that simply resolve 3k plus 3 and minus 2. Then you slowly you can solve it. Then finally you will get it some formulas, and finally you get it 1 by 2 k plus 1 in second bracket 3 k plus 1 minus 1. You see this portion I have taken left hand side because now it is the left hand side you have taken it. Now see the right hand side. I don't know you are able to see or not. Yeah, this portion I have written right hand side. Now left hand side we are getting here, and right hand side. It is the same value are coming. So 1 by 2 k plus 1. So after the calculations, we are getting these things. So we can say it in the step 2 are also true because both the side are similar. So in both the cases are similar, we can get it. Here actually the solve I have given you how it has happened because there's some factorization is there. So for the student you can do it, you can practice it because factorization you have to break it up 5k k plus 4k, and after that you can take a common, and finally you get it. So now in this case right hand side and left hand side is same, so we can say p in bracket k plus 1 is true. That means in the second stage, in the second statement, whatever it is, as per the mathematical induction, that you have also already proved second step is also true. So both the cases, first step and second step is true. So you can write thus pk is true. That is also we can written, and pk plus 1 is also true. So both the things are true. When both the things are true, we can say last statement is very important. If you don't write it, then one number will be deducted. So hence, by the principle of mathematical induction, the given result is true. That's all. That's the end of these numericals. So you have to write this. So what I mean to say, for this example, this solution, you see there is no formula actually. Actually, there is no formula. It's only things you have to concept has to be clear, and some simple algebra. Simple algebra you have to add, where you have to add it, and your calculation, minus plus, addition, deletion, and what about the simple algebra is there. So there is no as such no formula is there. Everything you know all these things, so you can get it. Let's see another example. It is the first example. Last time it has come in the example That's why I just explaining. Now, see the another one. That is the June 2017 question number. If you go through the question paper, then you can see it. Use the principle of mathematical induction to prove that 1 by 1 into 2 plus 1 by 2 into 3 plus, there is a series. Basically, it is all our series and sequences, the series and sequences, and that you are proving basically. But through this principle of mathematical induction. Question paper is very easy because you can identify from which chapter it is come, because the mathematical induction is written. So simply you can know it is a block number 1, unit number 4, that questions pertain to block number 1, unit number 4. So mathematical induction, so no problem. Then immediately you should keep in your mind that there should be some step, En1, K1, K plus 1, that steps immediately should come in your mind. Then after that it is easier. So now you have to prove for every natural number is this. Now all numbers are within these main natural numbers. So whatever the integer are there, it is within this whole of, that is a symbol of totality of natural numbers. So now solution you see, as usual, let Pn. In this case, you see there is a no k, n is given. So you can start straight away, let P. Suppose in the exam, it is written M or some, say some, or W or U, whatever it is. So you can also take in that way also. Earlier case, if you have seen, we can take it as a PK because question itself is K. There is no N. In this case, N is there. So I have to consider Pn be the statement given by. So we have to see the questions accordingly. You change the notification. I mean, what the denominations. What you have to denote these things. So denote, during the denoting, you have to careful about what are the things are you are taking the letting. So let Pn be the statement given by. So Pn, so 1 by 2, 2 by 1, whatever, the same thing you can write it, and is equal to n. So in this case, nothing. Same thing where just from the question paper, you take it and write here. Only thing you have to write Pn. You are considering it is a first statement and Pn. Now step 1. Step 1, so we have in place of n, you have to write 1 as usual. When it is a 1 and here the n portion is there. So you need not write this portion. It is not required. We are now focused on where the n is there. Change it 1. All the n should be 1. Now you see here 1 by 1, and it is also 1. This case. Here actually one divided by 1 plus 1, n. So there is a 1 by 2. Okay. So this part, when you change it, this is also 1. You change it. So anyhow, you see there, both the cases, we can see the 1 by 2, and here is also 1 by 2. So we can say it is a P1 is true. Should be match. Here, whatever it is here, same thing should come.
सर वो फर्स्ट कॉलम में उन्होंने मेंशन किया है 1 divided by in bracket 1 and 2 they multiplied, so it is half is equal to the later on part is discussed in the second one,
correct,
which shows after equal to sign 1 upon 1 plus 1. So and the whole notation is proved in the third one, so it's half.
So it is true. So that way 1 by 2 and this goes. So that means we are achieved the first step is true. Very good. I think now you can understand better way. Now going to second step. Second step, what happened? Let pk be the true. So we are considering pk be true. Then if it is we are considering 2, then we can say this part is k. Now I have to say it k plus 1. In this case, we are considering change the things according to k. So where the n is there, we are replacing 1 by k, k plus 1, and k, same thing we are replacing by the k. Now again, after that, when we are considering it is true, we are considering true, now we have to show that p plus k is also true. Now we have to prove it. For this, we shall have to show that this thing. So same thing you have to write. Now in place of now in place of k, we have to write k plus 1. Right. Now this part is already here. So here it is the addition of these things. Okay. So here actually 1, this k is changes k plus 1, and in bracket this k is also changes k plus 1. This, you see, up to this it is same. And just put these things. Cursor UCG, just I don't know you are following me or not. Or otherwise I can say in this statement simply you plus add 1 k plus 1, you can just add it. Simply same thing you can repeat here. Don't disturb this thing as it is, it will be as it is. After that, plus, this is a plus sign is here, this plus sign is here, and this thing has changes. In place of k, you have to k plus 1. So changing this thing, you have just add on this thing, plus is equal to, here is also you have to change all this k as changes, k plus 1 and either k plus 1 plus 1. So this part has changes, and here actually left hand side plus we have to add on something, that is k plus 1, same thing, because it is previous preceding figures in this case. Here you have to just carefully, only these things we have to carefully, what in the second step, what you are doing. Then similarly you see, here actually the result is there, this part. You can put some equation, that is equation 1, dot 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 equation 1. Then this figure will be, you can put it here. Then you can say it is the left hand side, this part, and this is right hand side. I have written right hand side. Here it is left hand side. So as usual you have to write it. Now this is this part is this. Now this is I have take it out. Same thing I am repeating here. No changes. Just take it out and say left hand side. Now we have to calculate on left hand side, and after the calculation we have to show what are the figure will come, and it is equal to right hand side. That is actually idea. Then after that simply you have to calculate it. I think that you have to practice it, and all the steps are given, no problem. Simply simple algebra is actually here. You take a k by plus 1 for common, and here actually this part is gone, so k plus a k by 1 is coming, in case plus 1 by k2. If we take the common this part outside, so you can make it this way, and after the calculation it will come in finally. Yes, so now okay, so I think it shouldn't be very much problem. I think hope everybody are getting these things. Only changes only with done the what are the figure, these things, k by k plus 1, this portion, instead of these things you have to change it, this thing. Why it has put it here? You see this part total, I can put, just I put a second bracket, you just follow the second bracket here, and second bracket is finished here. This portion it is already calculated. How much? k by k plus 1. So we can write the second portion. You just simply you remove this portion, and you can write k divided by k plus 1. You can put it here, k plus 1. Then after that, plus this part is already there. Then you again calculate it. So this is the things you have to keep in mind only. Then after that, there is no problem. Just simply, and you can see the right hand side is same. So here, right hand side, and this is the left hand side, whatever the coming, the same thing. So you can write it, p k plus 1 is true, thus pk is true, and pk plus 1 is true, both the things are true. Hence, by the principle of mathematical induction, the given statement is true for all numbers of natural numbers. Okay. So this is your calculation things. Okay, let's see another example. Here actually prove that 1 plus 2 plus 3 dot dot dot, it is actually not equal to exactly, probably almost nearer to this thing. When I mean it is some less than that figure is given. Actually it's not very effective, but even though you have to see that value should, whatever the value will come, it should not be less than 1. I mean it should be less than. Let's see how it is coming. As usual, Pn be the statement given by, so we have to see Pn 1 plus 2 plus 3 in this part. So here actually I have to change it. So we have P1, always you have to change it first. In the first step we are changing 1 only. So in this case n is converted in 1. This symbol, whatever the symbol is there, will be there. If it is equal to, then you have to write equal to, but in this case it is less than. So 2 into 1 plus 1 divided by 8, it is whole square. So if you calculate it, ultimately it will coming 9 by 8. So 9 by 8, it means it is equal to 1.1 something. 1.1 something. That means it is greater than 1. So it is true because it should be. Otherwise, if it is a less than 1, 0.9 or 0.8, then it is not true. However, fortunately, it is now 1 point above the 1.1. And it is, means this side should be greater than this side. So here, otherwise, if it is symbol has changed, suppose in the exam, the symbol has changed. Now this side is greater than. If symbol is changed, then automatically it is not true, because here is 1 and this side is 1.1. So 1 is not greater than 1. So 1.1 is greater, always greater. So that is also you have to be careful about it. But normally in the exam, question paper is giving by calculated. It is already always it will be true. So don't worry about it. Anyhow, you should know what the meaning of this symbol, what is the figure, that you should know it. In this case, so it is. Maybe student will confuse. So it is not coming 1. It is not coming 1 because it should not be 1. It is some greater than or less than is there. Because of this, it is 1.1. Some figure will come. So anyhow, so in our case is okay, fine. So now P1 is true. So first step is true. Now going to second step. Again, as usual, Pk with the 10. We have to consider this Pk. Then whatever will happen. So instead of n, we can write a k. And as it is, n is changed to k. These things. Then we have to prove same thing. Have to write. We shall now show that P k plus 1 is true. So we have to show it. Instead of k, you have to write it k plus 1. Now here actually what we did, 1 plus 2 plus up to this k, it is same. We have to same thing. We have no changes there. Then here actually we just add on k plus 1. as per the norms that k plus 1 extra will come. Then this symbol is there. Here is also, we have to change all the k as usual, k plus 1. So 2, and instead of k plus 1 in bracket, and this plus 1 is already there, and divided by 8 is there, and after that it is square. All things are in second bracket square. So then you have to calculate it simply. Now pk is true. Now you can say, now this portion already you can write here dot dot dot. This is equation 1, you can write it. So this thing you can straight away you put it here, the value. So here actually this figure is there, then you have to LCM it. If you do it, 2 plus k square plus k1 k plus 1, it is add on now, it is another one add on. So now you have to calculate it, and this portion is same. Here is, after this formula it will come, can LCM simply. I hope the students can do this part, right? No problem. It is simply algebra is. If anybody is feeling doubt, you can call, you can WhatsApp me or call me. I will explain how it has come. If anybody facing some problem to do these things, this algebra part, then I can explain. Then finally, it is coming. What about the right hand side? Same thing is coming here. So no problem. Straight away take. So pk in this case is what about this coming here? The same thing. This is also same thing. Here is also same thing. So no problem. So pk 1 is true, thus pk is also true. You can say same thing in the middle. So this declaration in the end of the example, you have to write, always you have to write it. Then your complete 5 marks you will get it. It's only 5 marks questions. Okay, I think this nothing else here. Now I have to go for another folder. So this folder is enough. Now see the another folder. So here is also same thing. You see, it's a very basic things. So 3 square plus 3 is divisible or not by 3. So 30 is divisible by, in this case you see that is 27 plus 3, so that means 30. So 30 is divided by 3 or not? Correct. So we are getting 30 is divisible by 3. It is true. So no problem. But in case of P4, if it is a 4, suppose changes in these conditions. So how much it is coming? And these things plus, if we add it, we are getting 68. So 68 is divisible by 3. By 3 or not? It is divisible by 3 or not? No, because this is clearly not true. So in this case, it is not true. It is one statement is true, another is not true, because in this case, we are asking the by 3. In this case, if this is a statement, in this statement, one case you have to 3, another case is 4. So you have to identify that in case of P3, it is true. It is true. We have to calculate it. It is yes, true. But in the statement P4 is true. So second condition, if we change it, if we considering 4, so again he is asking it is divided by 3. So it is true. No, it is divisible by 4 only, I think. 4 is by 4 is divisible, yes. Yes, divide by 4. You can, if they ask, it is only 4 only. So, but in by 3 it is not. So that's why it is clearly not true. So which is, it is clearly true, it is not true. This is the your answer, statement answer. So in the first statement, in this case, it's true. And second statement, it is not true. Okay? Because they have not asked 4, it is 3. So we have to see the question and accordingly you have to write the answer. It's same thing, small thing. There are 2, 4, 6 and these things. You have to first, in case of n is equal to 1 or not, on the first step, n is equal to 1, then you have to see it which is clearly true. Because in this case, you see it is coming 2. So in this case, it is the true. After putting 1, we are, this the right hand side, I mean, after equal to the coming 2. And here is also stated first, in this case also 2, because we do 2. So both the cases are 2, we can say it is the true. This way you can write it. So second part of the mathematical like this. So second part you can calculate it. In case of this is k plus 1, you can put a k plus 1. So 2 plus 4 plus 6, it is 2k. 2k will be up to 2k is there. Then you add on 2k plus 1. Another is equal to a, it is changes. Now it is add on something. So k plus 1 have to add it on it. And here actually not to forget, while writing left hand side of pk plus 1, you must remember that not only should you write the last form of the series, but also a term prior to the last term. That means prior to the last term, this 2, you don't forget it. So last term you have to write it, and then after that you have to add something. Because in case of k, you are changing the k plus 1. That is the new formation. But you don't forget to write k, 2k. Straight away you can't change it. You have to add on, you can plus something. So that is the condition. I think now everywhere you have see all the solution time, and the left hand side on k, in the case of k plus 1, just on the k plus 1, you have to remember these things. Especially in the left hand side, you have to do accordingly. It is also same thing you are writing in the study material also. You can go through this. So then after that, simply calculations. It is the induction assumption, taking k plus 1 common, and then right hand side is equal to 1. So the same thing are coming. When the same thing are coming, you can write. You see there are same thing are coming in the right hand side also. So when the left hand side is same, so you can say that the 2 steps required for a proof by mathematical induction have been completed. So our statement is true for each natural number n. You can write in this way also, or otherwise what the way you can have written. Earlier solution I shown you what to be written in the last. Same thing you can write. Another example like this, 1 plus 4 plus 7 and this thing. So here actually you see what I mean to say. Simply you have to focus on whatever the things, statement for k, pk, you can write pn first step. So 3n to these things 1, n is into 1. So n into 1. So that means 3 minus 2, that is a 1, is equal to 1 by 2. In place of n, you have written 1. And again it is 3. In place of n, you have written 1 minus 1. So ultimately you see it is a 1. So that means it is matching. So we can say it is clearly true. When this side and this side is matched, we can say it is clearly true. And then second step, as you know, you have to change it. K plus 1. Now you have to say k plus 1. Now you consider it as a pk. So you have to change it. Where the n, you can write it k. 3n instead of 3n now. 3n. Now we can 3k minus 2. First, what are the equation is given, the statement is given, same statement you have to repeat it, only in place of n you have to write a k. Then you add on. Then after that, k, pk plus 1. But all these steps you have to remember it, that's all. Then here actually, same trick, 3k minus 2, it will be there. After that, you see here plus these things. Then equal to sign is coming. So this is the part here you have to be very careful. Simply this part is, most of the students forget about this part. They're not keeping these things as it is. Normally in the exam, students are doing tk, okay, tk plus 1 plus 2. This part they are doing, but forget about this part. Or this part is okay, this part is normally same thing is coming, but here actually you have to be very careful. Up to this same thing you have to write, then you make a plus, and same thing here actually you have to change it. That means here actually you are adding some of the portions without disturbing these things. Here actually state you are putting. So these things you have to be careful. So I'm showing all the examples and where you have to keep a more focus, that I'm also discussing. After that, no problem. If you miss these things, then you will get a problem. Otherwise, in the exam normally, some of the times students are not writing 1, 4, 7, not writing. Only simply they are focusing here. They write in the exam this portion only. Here, this portion, straightway writing, where the k is changing, this portion writing. In this case, here this portion, straightway they are writing whatever the value is coming. Because here in this case, what happened? We are up to this, here actually 1 by 2 k, 3k minus 1. Already here, this portion you can write straightway in the left hand side. We can replace it here to here, straight 1 by 2 k, 3k minus 1, and this is already there. 3k plus 1 is already there. So considering the left hand side in this case, you can see up to this portion already figure is there, you can write, and plus 3k plus 1. Now after the solving, you have to solve it, factorization, then finally you got it, this portion, 1 by 2 k plus 1, 3 by k plus 2. When you are getting, you see the right hand side, same thing. This is equation 1, right hand side. Equation 1, and these things are similar. So you taking, considering the left hand side, you calculate it. After the calculation, then you have to see this is coming or not. When it is coming, you declare it, say okay, that is same. So then after that you have to write it. It shows that result holds for n is equal to k plus 1. Therefore the truth, whatever it is, you have to write it. That's all. Now up to this, now I'm coming to the, see here. If anybody any problem, I think, I hope all are understand or not.
सर थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम होता है,
क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है?
जो आप कैलकुलेशंस बता रहे हो ना, तो वो थोड़ा फिगर आउट करने में मुश्किल होता है. इफ पॉसिबल कुड यू प्लीज यूज आर्ट बोर्ड और समथिंग टू शो.
कैलकुलेशन मींस जो स्टेप्स मैंने कैलकुलेट किया फैक्टराइजेशन का,
जी, क्योंकि वो एग्जैक्टली 2-2 3-3 स्टेप स्किप होता है, क्योंकि वो फास्ट पेस में चलता है, तो फिगर आउट करना मुश्किल हो जाता है, कभी-कभी स्किप हो रहा है.
skip. अच्छा, okay, let's see another example. I can, that's why I'm showing you more and more example. इसमें first things you have to careful about. First things, पहला स्टेप जो है, n का जगह में 1 लिखना है, बस सिंपली. जैसे 1 लिखना है, लेफ्ट हैंड राइट हैंड साइड बराबर है कि नहीं, it is coming 2 or 1 or 3 or whatever it is. Second step, k plus 1. Okay, that you have to. Okay, anyway, let's see another example. then it will be more clear. I can show you some another problem. Okay, let's see by through. Before doing these things, I'm trying to show you another way. Let me see. ये दिखाई दे रहा है आपको? अरेंजिंग इट इज क्लियर आ रहा है? नो
सर ये समझ रहा है, लेकिन जब हम n+1 की वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं ना, उसके आगे से लेके जो कॉम्प्लेक्स अलजेब्रा है,
मैं देखता हूँ।
यहाँ
नहीं, अब ये इसको स्क्रीन पे आया कि नहीं जो मैं दिखा रहा हूँ?
आ रहा है।
ओके, इसको थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर सकता हूँ क्या? तो बिगर कर देता हूँ, जूम कर देता हूँ थोड़ा सा। ओके, यू सी, मैं क्लियर कर रहा हूँ। दिसंबर 2012 में फॉर ऑल n equal to 1 प्रूव दैट 1 स्क्वायर 2 स्क्वायर 3 स्क्वायर व्हाट एवर ये वाला पोर्शन है। आपको सिंपली क्या करना है, फर्स्ट स्टेप्स सॉल्यूशन करें। ध्यान दीजिए मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ। फर्स्ट n इज इक्वल टू 1 ये लिखना है, पहला स्टेप। n इज इक्वल टू 1, सेकेंड एज्यूम क्या करना है, n इज इक्वल टू k। ये दोनों चीज आपको लेना है। पहले 1 लगाते हैं, तो दिस इज 1, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। इनका जगह में अब जस्ट डॉट दे रहा हूं, इधर n का जगह में 1 दे दिया, दैट इज ऑलरेडी 1 है। ओके, दैट इज 1। ओके, सो जहां जहां वेयर द प्लेसेस ऑफ n हमने सिंपली 1 1 कर दिया, कैलकुलेट किया। आफ्टर द कैलकुलेशन 6/6 1 आ गया। ओके, इन दिस केस अगर इसको मैं n का जगह में 1 लिखेंगे, so it is also 1 because this side is 1, this side is also 1, means अब इधर से लेके हम यहाँ तक ये दोनों साइड को हम कंसीडर करें, हमारा पहला स्टेप क्लियर है कि नहीं? ये वाला क्लियर हो गया, ठीक है। हमने प्रूव कर दिया ये n इन प्लेस ऑफ n लगाने के बाद हमारा बोथ द साइड इज सेम। नाउ कमिंग टू सेकेंड स्टेप, k + 1, यही तो प्रॉब्लम है। अभी इसमें हम 1 + 2 स्क्वायर + k स्क्वायर लिखा। k स्क्वायर क्यों लिखा? बिकॉज नाउ वी आर चेंजिंग दिस थिंग्स ये वाला जो इक्वेशन है यहाँ तक जो है इसको मैंने चेंज किया। देखिए मैंने इसे ब्रैकेट डाला, यहाँ तक सेम थिंग मैंने रिपीट किया, सेम थिंग डीटो, ओनली एन स्क्वायर की जगह में के स्क्वायर हुआ, इतना ही है और नो चेंज, सेम थिंग रखा, प्लस के प्लस वन स्क्वायर एक एडिशनल ले लिए बिकॉज हमने के प्लस वन करना है, तो ये मैंने डाला और कुछ नहीं किया। अब ये देखना है इसको करने के बाद राइट हैंड साइड, ये वाला जो राइट हैंड साइड है सेम वैल्यू आ रहा है कि नहीं, अगर वो हमको प्रूव करना है, ठीक है। तो दिस पोर्शन जो है इसका वैल्यू क्या है, इस पोर्शन का जो वैल्यू क्या होना चाहिए, यहाँ तक जो है सेम थिंग 1/6, और ये जो ऊपर में जो वैल्यू है वो लिखना है, सेम थिंग लिखा है, और ये वाला तो सेम है बिकॉज ये थिंग्स, मैं गोल कर देता हूँ, ये वाला पोर्शन जो है ये एज इट इज सेम थिंग इसमें लिखना है, कुछ नहीं करना। और ये जो पोर्शन है, ये पोर्शन कहाँ से आया, ये बोला पोर्शन कहाँ से, 1/6 के प्लस वन, 2k प्लस, ये कहाँ से आया है, ये आए हैं इधर से, ये देखिए ये ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड है, दिस पोर्शन ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड है ना, ये पोर्शन ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड है, इधर से आए हैं, सेम थिंग इन इस जगह में 1/6, इट इज 1/6 के, तो n का जगह में k कर दिया, और ये 6 को मैंने नीचे कर दिया 1/6 के, n प्लस वन सिंपली उसे k प्लस वन, 2n प्लस वन तो 2k प्लस वन, 2k प्लस वन, ये 6 को नीचे लेके आए हैं, ठीक है, ये 6 को नीचे लेके आए हैं, और n का जगह में k लिख दिया, so it is k/2, otherwise 1/2 सेम थी, तो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व। इस जगह में हम सीधा क्या लिख सकते हैं, यही चीज लिख दी, ये वाला रिपीट कर दी, देखिए मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ, ये वाला पोर्शन को सीधा जो है यहीं पर हमने रिपीट कर दिया, सब इधर से उधर से उधार लिया, एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग, सिंपली दैट यू कैन पुट ए वन इक्वेशन, दिस इक्वेशन नंबर 1, इस सेम थिंग वी कैन रिपीट इट, ये तो पहले से था ही, नो प्रॉब्लम, सेम थिंग, सो हमारे ये बन गया। देन आफ्टर ये सिंपली ये कैलकुलेशन करना, अगर इस कैलकुलेशन में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो डेफिनेटली यू हैव ए बेसिक प्रॉब्लम इन मैथमेटिक्स, बिकॉज ये तो कुछ नहीं है, सिंपली गुना भागा है और कुछ नहीं है ना, तो ये तो आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है, ये कैसे हुआ नहीं, ये तो आपको प्रैक्टिस करना है, सिंपली मल्टीप्लिकेशन है ना, देखिए 1/6 k प्लस वन, इन ब्रैकेट इधर क्या है 2k इंटू के, 2k इंटू k, देन इधर k इंटू वन तो k प्लस 6k, 6k को मैंने डिवाइड कर दिया, 3k प्लस 2 3k कर दिया फैक्टर करने के लिए, एंड इट इज c प्लस 6, सो ये कंप्लीट थिंग आपको फैक्टराइजेशन करने के लिए आपको करना पड़ेगा। तो फाइनली आपको जो है देखिए रिजल्ट जो है सेम आ गया, कैलकुलेट करने के बाद सेम थिंग हमारा रिपीट हुआ है, तो वी कैन से दिस सेम, राइट हैंड साइड का बराबर हो गया, ठीक है। I hope it is clear or not. Shall I show another one?
No sir, it's clear, thank you.
देखते हैं और कुछ है कि नहीं, आपको और एक मैं कोशिश करता हूँ समझाने के लिए, another one देखता हूँ, another फाइल देखता हूँ, इसको
Excuse me, sir.
if any doubt you can ask me, no problem.
Sir,
Okay.
for
Yes.
suppose they have given a expression p of x.
P.
For suppose in question they have given expression p of n, sir. Let us
Okay,
say
no problem.
for p of 1, if it is false, then we can conclude there itself, right?
Actually, what I mean to say, normally your question pattern will like this. अभी देखिए ये question pattern है 1q plus 2q plus 3q, ये आपको question pattern आएगा नॉर्मली। ये आपका क्वेश्चन है, मैंने क्वेश्चन तो इधर लिखा हुआ एक्चुअली वो छूट गया होगा, बट यही क्वेश्चन है। प्रूव दैट, परसुएड दैट। पहला स्टेप आपको सिर्फ ध्यान रखना है, एन जहाँ है एन को 1 बना दो, सीधा सीधा। पहला स्टेप का आपके एन को 1 बनाना है, पहला काम। पहला स्टेप एन इज इक्वल टू 1, तो आंख बंद करके आपको सिर्फ 1 लिख दो ना चुपचाप, उसमें क्या दिक्कत है? बना के देखो उसमें दोनों साइड 1 1 हो रहा है कि नहीं है, दैट्स ऑल। इधर का दिस पोर्शन जहां पर मैं कर्सर को घुमा रहा हूँ, देखिए ये वाला पोर्शन कहाँ गया, इसको पेन कहाँ गया? हाँ, टूल्स, इसको पेन कहाँ है? तो ज्यादा पेन की नहीं आ रहा है। अभी तो पेन था, कहाँ चला गया पेन? Anyway, ठीक है, just you see carefully, n is equal to 1. So if we change it, n 1 to the cube, ultimately it is a 1. Here is also 1 by 4, the 1 square. So this part is also ultimately 4, is it not? 2 square, so that is 4. So 4 by 4 is 1. So this part is true. That means पहला statement जो है, this part if we put a 1, इसका हमारा ये बराबर है, तो इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए। Now second case, k, you can put a k, simply it is for, simply put a k, same thing, make a statement, new statement, putting a assumption, putting a k, so pk। इधर कुछ नहीं करना, सिंपली n को आप p k करना है, और तो नहीं, simply have to change it in case of n you have to put a k। Second thing is, then you have to change it k k plus 1, to write k plus 1, okay। So then you have to prove it left hand side, you take left hand side, this portion, considering these things. That is equation number 1. So equation number 1 का आपने सिर्फ लेफ्ट हैंड पोर्शन को ले लिया, बस लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, डोंट राइट दिस थिंग्स, आपको सिर्फ लेफ्ट हैंड पोर्शन को लेना है और प्रूव करना है धीरे धीरे ये वाला आ रहा है कि नहीं। then you have to see the result of this. So 1 cube, 2 cube, वो तो same thing है, इस bracket में रखो, so इधर k plus 1 cube आ रहा है, okay? Up to this result is there, up to ये वाला क्या है result? 1 by 4 k square k plus 1 square. The same thing you can write it here. आपको इधर सेम थिंग आप लिख दीजिए इस जगह पे जो ब्रैकेट डाला हुआ है, सेम थिंग. और ये तो ऑलरेडी है, ये वाला क्वेश्चन तो है, हो गया. क्यों आ रहा है इसी कहाँ चला गया, इसको पेन क्यों नहीं दिखाई दिया. Anyhow, is that clear हुआ कि नहीं? I think this part is clear, not what I meant to say. अगर इस दिस प्लेस यू आर मिस आई मीन कंसेप्ट क्लियर नहीं है तब तो मुश्किल है ना, इसकी तो कुछ भारी कुछ तो है ही नहीं, ओनली वैल्यू पुट अप किया और कुछ नहीं किया, ना कोई फॉर्मूला है ना कुछ हेवी कैलकुलेशन है, सिंपली यू हैव टू पुट अप. देन फाइनली दिस थिंग आ रहा है एंड ये राइट हैंड साइड बराबर है, दैट्स ऑल. इसमें तो here you see actually I am giving a more and more solution so that आपका concept clear हो जाए. Another one you see 1 plus 4 plus 7 3n minus 2 n is equal to n in bracket whatever it is. जहाँ पर आपको n है वो आप फोकस डालो. पहला स्टेप क्या है, वो हम 1 करना है, जहाँ जहाँ n है 1 कर दीजिए. देखिए ये आपको P1 केस है, बेस केस जो हमने मैंने बताया ना, बेस केस सिंपली 1 इधर 1, इधर 3 into 1 3 minus 2 तो अल्टीमेटली 1 हो गया. इधर 1 3 into 1 minus 1 divided by 2. So if you calculate it, so in this case it is 3 minus 1 to 2 हो गया, 2 by 2 कट के 1 हो गया, तो is equal to 1. So it is true. This part is true. So इधर भी 1 है, इधर भी 1 है. So we can say which is true, simply written true. Then inductive step, I think second step, एक एक बुक्स में एक एक चीज लिखा गया, बेस केस, इंडक्टिव स्टेप, व्हाटएवर इट इज, और स्टेप 1 स्टेप 2 जैसे आपको लिखना चाहिए लिख सकते हैं, एज यू लाइक. सो k is equal to 1 considering, so this is your, इंस्टेड ऑफ n का जगह में आप k लिख दीजिए, बस सिंपली n k लिख दीजिए, खत्म. आपको कुछ भी ना आंख बंद करके इसको k लिख दीजिए, आपको एक नया इक्वेशन बन गया that you are considering. This equation को अब now you have to change it by k plus 1, इसी फॉर्मेशन में लाना है. दिस फॉर्मेशन में जब लाना है आपको सिंपली आपको ये वाला पोर्शन तो है ही, देन यू हैव टू राइट इट k plus 1, राइट इट, दिस पोर्शन को राइट करना है. And this side is changes. Here you see one step they have not written. Actually this part is after that. This part, ये वाला part जो है इसके बाद है, but यहीं पर थोड़ा सा वो 3k plus 2 not written. So it is some sort of mistake. This part should be here. Then only you can take it as a same thing. But anyhow, they have proved in other way also. Straight way left hand side को आप elaborate किया और these things they have written, and it is same to here is also same thing. Same thing. It is coming same thing. So pk plus 1 is whole group. This is another way you have to prove it. Another thing, simply question is given 6n minus 1. So Pn be the statement of 6 plus 1. You have to prove it. An integer 6n minus 1, it is divisible by 5. So you have to prove it. It is really 5 का द्वारा divisible है कि नहीं. So 6n minus 1 as it is, आपको उधर n का जगह में 1 कर दीजिए. If you consider it is n is equal to 1, so 6 minus 1 ultimately is 5. तो 5 तो 5 से डिवाइड हो गई, so divisible है 5 से 5. So this means it is true. So is divisible by 5. अगर इसमें और कुछ फिगर हो तो 7 or 6, you have to write no, and you cannot go for further. So this statement is totally wrong हो जाता if it is a something other. So it is fortunately 5 and it is also 5, so it is divisible. You have to write it. Now go for second step, inductive steps. Simply you have to change it k, 6k minus 1. Okay, so instead of n you have to write k and make a new statement, and then after that pk plus 1 you have to put it where the k you have to write is 6k plus 1, then minus 1, then you solve it, then finally you have to prove it. It is also divisible by 5. So this way you have to calculate it. Small thing, 2 to 3 steps only there. There's another example, same thing. Is given by formula. You have to sum square of the first 2n. Square of the first 2n. You see here some little changes. Mind it, square of the first 2n. Square of the first 2n you have to. So anyhow, calculate it. Simply इनका जगह में 1 दे दीजिए, 1 1 1 1 दे दीजिए, सब कुछ कर दीजिए. Finally you see 1 square plus 2 square दोनों. So finally इधर देखिए square of the first 2n, square of the first 2n, ये nth number है first 2n. So in this case it is 1 square plus 2 square. Consider this total is 5, that will be 5 है, so that is which is true. Suppose it is not written the first 2n नहीं लिखा हुआ, it is not there, then it is wrong. क्योंकि this case अगर n है तो only 4, so it should be 4 होना चाहिए था, but 4 तो नहीं है. If the 4 नहीं है, but suppose these things are coming in the exam and you are thinking if I put a 1 it will 2 square, so the 4 है, and after that calculation it is coming 5, इधर 4 है इधर 5 है, अब तो इक्वल तो नहीं हो रहा है, आप कंफ्यूज हो जाएंगे. बट यू सी द क्वेश्चन, स्क्वायर ऑफ द फर्स्ट 2n, स्क्वायर ऑफ द फर्स्ट 2n. अगर आपको ध्यान से आप ये क्वेश्चन को नजर करोगे, then you can understand. Yes, so here is already written, so now it is 5, so no problem. Then you go for inductive step as usual, pk. Then you can all the right in place of n you write k. Then after that step is pk plus 1. So you have to write k plus 1. Simply write thing, you change it, no problem. Here only thing in these books I have seen, this part is missing. Actually this part is not missing. They have to write it, but I don't know. But you should practice it. Keep it like this. Keep it like this. 2k square of रखना है. Then after that you can write it. They have calculated in right hand side straight way. They don't take it in a left hand or right hand, left hand side or right hand side. Straight way they are calculating, and finally it is a lengthy, because if we consider in this way, then it will be lengthy process. So it is so many calculations you have to do it, and finally you have to calculate it. This part and this part is same. Anyhow, so there are so many examples like this way. Another example, so many. So you don't worry about it. all a small thing. So anyhow, what I mean to say, the principle of this IGNOU study material, here is also see first P1, then PK multiple impulse again, then PK plus 1. That is the steps. So here is also given some footnote also. Just providing K plus 1 whenever PK is true will not work, because simply PK may not be sufficient. So that case you have to PK plus 1, you have to do it. Then finally it is given one example also, and I can show you some of the examples here. Straight away go some of the here. You see this type of question are coming in the exam normally. So using the principle of that is 2 plus 4 plus 6, 2n, n plus 1. So each number phase first solution, first steps. So Pn denote the statement. Okay, you can the same thing you can write it. In the exam time, you can start this way only. Let Pn denote the statement 2 plus. You can start from here itself, no problem. Here you can write or not write it. From here you can start. Step 1, definitely you have to write it. If n is equal to 1 or when n is equal to 1, whatever it is, then you have to write it. And see, in this case, it's 2 and n plus. So first step is true, clear. Then second step, k plus 1. So it is 2k. Here you see in the IGNOU books, they clearly written up to 2k is here. Then plus these things has added. So 2k plus 1. Up to this, same thing they have written. They have put some plus, then 2k plus 1, then equal to, here actually they have changed it, k plus 1. Here actually already another k, so 1, another 1, so 2. So here actually it is k plus 1 plus 1, so ultimately k plus 2. So this is the way. Here actually is written, not to forget, while writing left hand side of p plus k1, you must remember that not only should you write the last term of the series, but also a term prior to the last term. Prior to the last term. If you now suppress the last terms of the result pk1, remain same things. Means these things, 2k. And these portions are coming. So this term is always you have to, don't forget to write these things. Don't change k here itself. Plus then you change here itself. You have to write another one. So don't forget about this 2k. That is why they have saying it. So this 2k should be here. Then so up to this the equation you have to keep it. Then you write inside the one. I think almost similar type of examples already I have shown. So a lot of examples are there. So this is the only principle, 3 steps you have to remember it, and you can do it, no problem. Because in any solution, same process they have adopted. Same process. In this case, is all a different type of already I have shown you. That is also I have done. Nothing extra. I have already searched 4-5 years question paper. Everywhere this type of questions is coming. So I hope you can do it. So you practice 4-5 induction mathematics, mathematical induction, 4-5 type of things, and you practice it, and no problem. So in the exam also you are getting this type of examples, and these all are your syllabus is like this only, so no problem. Beyond the syllabus, nothing will come. What about your syllabus and study materials given? Definitely, only figure may change, because in this case, what happened? Simply they can change it. Your, for example, this is your example. For example, um, uh, n plus 1, 2n plus 1. So in this case, 2n plus 2, only they can change it. Multiply 6, so they can change it, multiply 5. So this type of small changes they can do. Process will be same. Anything else? Any doubt or any still? If you have any problem, you tell me. You check your progress. These things, it is all are given. Check your progress after the solution is given. The answer to the check, everything are given. So you go through the, now will be very easy to your study material. You can see, go through the study material. Everything is there. All the solution is given. No problem. All the solution is given. Same thing. You see, they have done it. No problem. Okay. So I can close it and. So stop presenting. Now tell me any doubt after that. Raise your hand who is not understanding anything. There are basically 3 steps. All of you here or not? No response?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me who is not understand still. एक कोई भी डाउट है इसमें क्या बताओ?
डाउट तो है बट रिवीजन के बाद हो सके तो क्लियर हो जाए.
What happened? रबीना?
डाउट तो है सर बट रिवीजन के बाद क्लियर हो सकता है.
हाँ, जब तो प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे तो होगा नहीं ना, एक बार अपने हाथ में करना है ना.
हाँ हाँ.
वो तो देखिए, मैथ इज सच सब्जेक्ट, सुनने से नहीं होगा. इफ यू जस्ट ओनली हियरिंग, लगेगा अरे ये तो इजी तो लग रहा है.
यस यस सर.
हाँ, लगा तो स्टेप्स इसमें तो कुछ है ही नहीं. एन को एक बार 1 लगाओ,
यस
करो, फिर उसके बाद के करो, के बाद फिर के प्लस 1 करना है. तो इसमें ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. बट प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे तो स्पीड नहीं बढ़ेगा, वो कैलकुलेशन में फंस जाओगे. वो जो शेप्स है उसमें फंस जाओगे. तो सिंपल अलजेब्रा है ना, वो वाला तो चाहिए. बट बहुत इजी है बिकॉज इसमें कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है. बाकी चैप्टर में तो इसके बाद तो कब कई सारे फॉर्मूला याद करना पड़ेगा. वेक्टर में इतने सारे फॉर्मूला है, न्यूमेरिकल मैट्रिक्स, इसमें तो सब टेक्निक और कुछ नहीं. सब ओनली टेक्निक चाहिए बस. इधर का सामान इधर लगाओ, उधर का सामान उधर लगाओ, बस खत्म. अब तो कुछ काम है नहीं इसमें. बहुत इजी है एक्चुअली. 5 नंबर जो है ना, बड़ा आसानी से आ जाता है. और व्हाट अबाउट द, आई हैव शोन ऑल द टाइप्स, इससे बाहर आते ही नहीं कुछ. मैंने छान मारा, पूरे क्वेश्चन पेपर देखा 5-6 साल का, जितना सारा टाइप मैंने शो किया, इससे बाहर एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं है. सब इसी में मिलता जुलता है. ठीक है ना. तो आई होप आप प्रैक्टिस करो. इफ यू फील, अभी तो क्लास, लॉट ऑफ क्लासेस विल गो. अगर दोबारा में रिपीट कर देंगे, ऐसे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं। अगर टाइम परमिट हो ना, अभी तो बहुत सारी क्लासेस है, तो जो जो चैप्टर में जो जो जगह में डाउट है नोट करते रहिए। तो एक दिन हम डाउट क्लियरिंग क्लास उसमें ही ड्यूरिंग दिस सेशन आई विल ट्राई टू क्लियरिंग योर डाउट्स ऑल्सो। लास्ट में हाफ एन आवर रख के जैसे तैसे करके वो हम डाउट को क्लियर कर देंगे। फर्स्ट चैप्टर नोट डाउन, डाउट शुड बी जनरल और एंड आई होप वंस यू स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग, सो आई थिंक डाउट नहीं आना चाहिए। क्यों डाउट आएगा इसमें बताओ, इसमें है क्या चीज़? ओनली थिंग यू जस्ट नोट डाउन समवेयर जी इस एग्जाम में इस टाइप का मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शन में करना क्या है। पहला सा अपना लैंग्वेज में लिख के रखो, जो कि फर्स्ट जितना जहाँ एन है वो चुपचाप उसको 1 लिखना है, पहला स्टेप। 1 करने के बाद फिर देखना है समान हो रहा है कि नहीं, बराबर है कि नहीं, ठीक है ओके। सेकेंड स्टेप में क्या करना है, सेकेंड स्टेप में के करना है, थर्ड स्टेप में के प्लस 1 करना है, और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड राइट हैंड साइड बराबर है तो ट्रू हो गया। यही तो करना है, ये कोई एक जगह में लिख के रखना है। आई होप इसमें ज़्यादा कोई कठिन है ही नहीं। 3 to 4 मिनट्स लगता है ये करने में, 3 से 4 मिनट सफिशिएंट है। बट वो प्रैक्टिस करने से वो फटाफट फैक्टराइजेशन हो जाएगा, के स्क्वायर फॉर्मूला आ जाएगा, छोटे मोटे फैक्टराइज करना है, तो एलसीएम करना है, वो छोटी छोटी चीज़ जो हम लोग 6, 7, 8 में किया है, बस वो प्रैक्टिस करना है। एक्चुअली बेसिकली मैथ इज वेरी इजी सब्जेक्ट, आप लोग उतना ये में नहीं ले रहे। थ्योरी और थ्योरम पर के तो आप पागल हो जाओगे। मैथ में तो ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं, 2-4 फॉर्मूला तो है, और 1-2 प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा, यू विल फील सो गुड यार ये तो कुछ भी नहीं है, बाकी सब्जेक्ट से आगे चला जाएगा। और एक बार करने के बाद भूलोगे नहीं, याद रहेगा सब फॉर्मूला के जो भी हो। So try to put out some of the all the chapters का फॉर्मूला, क्या क्या फॉर्मूलाज है, स्टेप्स क्या क्या है, वो एक जगह में नोट करके लिखो। फिर यू ट्राई योरसेल्फ, बैठो 2-2 सैंपल का, ज़्यादा नहीं। इंट्रोडक्शन का 2 सैंपल, मैट्रिक्स का 2, डिटर्मिनेंट 2, बस प्रैक्टिस करो, 2-2 कर टोटल। आई कैन टेल यू टोटल ये आपका जो सब्जेक्ट अराउंड 20 यूनिट्स है, 20 यूनिट है। तो 20 यूनिट के लिए आपको 40 to 50 न्यूमेरिकल्स करके रखो, वही बार बार रिवीजन को रिपीट करो, आपको आराम से एग्जाम में 80 to 90% मार्क्स आराम से हो जाएगा। एक नोट बनाओ और उसमें से हर चैप्टर का, हर यूनिट का सिर्फ 2 को सॉल्यूशन अपने अपने करना है और नोट बना के रखो, इसका तो बाकी सब्जेक्ट का तो बहुत कुछ करना पड़ेगा, इसमें तो ऐसा कुछ करना नहीं है ना। एक एक्सरसाइज बुक्स खरीद करके आपको सिर्फ आधा पेज भी नहीं होगा, आपको पूरे सिलेबस सारे सॉल्यूशन उस बुक में आ जाएगा। सिर्फ उसी को पलटी मार मार के बीच बीच आप देखते रहो, रिवाइज करते रहो, जो कसा हुआ वही देखते रहो, खत्म। आज आँख बंद करके याद करो ये फॉर्मूला हमारे को याद आ रहा है कि नहीं, दैट्स ऑल। याद नहीं आ रहा तो एक जगह में लिखो, फॉर्मूला लिख के रखो और जो बट कंसेप्ट क्लियर होना चाहिए। इफ यू हैव टू कंसेप्ट क्लियर होना है कि इस स्टेप के बाद ये चीज़ आना चाहिए, इसके बाद ये जाना चाहिए, अगर वो नहीं याद आ रहा है तो मुश्किल हो जाएगा। am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Those who are little bit math background और 11-12 में अच्छे से किया है वो तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, but problem they are facing, those who are not in math background, maybe they are facing some problem, उसको practice करना पड़ेगा। और I am here during the class and even off class, any doubt you may ask me, you can WhatsApp me, no problem, I will try to solve you, no problem, okay। और बताओ कुछ specific question, if any specific questions regarding this chapter? Actually I have not prepared the MCQ of this particular chapters, क्योंकि इसमें ऐसा कुछ MCQ है ही नहीं, इसलिए मैं नॉर्मली 4-5 MCQ बनाते हैं हर चैप्टर, हर यूनिट का मैं 4-5 MCQs प्रिपेयर करता हूँ। बट इसमें मेरे को लगा मैथमेटिकल इंडक्शंस इज नथिंग, इसमें नो MCQs, कोई MCQ हो ही नहीं सकता, क्या है वो, इज नॉट वेरी इजी चैप्टर्स, ओनली हैव टू रिमेंबर इट। ओनली थिंग्स वो आपको ख्याल रखना, K+1 का टाइम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में वो हटाना नहीं, वो रखना है, दैट्स ऑल. एनी डाउट? और कुछ बताओ. इंटरेक्शन इज रिक्वायर्ड ना. विदाउट एनी इंटरेक्शन हाउ डू आई नो हम लोग कहाँ स्टार्टअप हो रहा है, क्या करना है आगे. Shall I give you one example? अभी करके बताओगे? Small thing. देखते हैं. Who can? Let give us someone example. Suppose एग्जाम में आ गए. Suppose now you see the question. उसको आप prove that 10 natural numbers are given this formula. क्या करोगे? Tell us. This is your questions. Mathematical induction. I'm short में लिख रहा हूँ mathematical inductions. Now solution क्या होगा? What is the solutions? First step 1. क्या करना है मुझे फर्स्ट स्टेप में?
P of 1. So P of 1 taken
तो
P of n is equal to
स्टेप 1 कर लेते हैं, कोई बात नहीं. एक्चुअली स्टेप यही लिखना है, पी एन same thing you have to write here. Okay, same thing you have to write here. वो मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, सीधा हम ले जाता हूँ पहला स्टेप. तो n हो जाएगा 1.
n into n plus 1.
ये जो है ना, ए वाला n जो है, मैं इसको डिफरेंट कलर कर देता हूँ. दिस n 1 हो गया सिंपली. नाउ इसके बाद इधर हो जाएगा, मैं अब फिर ब्लैक कर लेता हूँ. दैट इज 1 ब्रैकेट में 1 प्लस 1 हो गया. So divided by 2. How much it is?
It is equal to 1.
2 divided by
2.
2. कट गया, कट गया. So is equal to 1. तो हमारा जो है ये दोनों, this portion
प्रूव हो गया सर.
हो गया. इसमें और कुछ क्या, कौन सा भारी चीज है? तो पहला स्टेप खत्म. नाउ कमिंग टू सेकंड स्टेप.
यस सर.
नाउ स्टेप 2. अब इतना भी एग्जाम में कर दोगे ना, ये 5 नंबर हो जाएगा सीधा. स्टेप 2. स्टेप 2 में सिर्फ लिखना है पी के किसको पी के बनाना है? ये जो दिया हुआ ये चीज जो है सीधा उसको उठा के ले आना है. मतलब मैं इसको डिफरेंट कलर कर देता हूँ. ये जो पोर्शन है ना, ये जो पोर्शन है, ये जो पोर्शन मैंने कलर किया है, इस पोर्शन को सीधा उठा के यहीं पर ले आओ. सिंपली जहां एन है, एन का जगह में पी लिख दो, और तो कुछ करना नहीं है, सीधा इधर लिख दो, खत्म.
यस सर.
करके यहीं पर इसको डॉट डॉट करके इक्वेशन नंबर 1 करके छोड़ दो, खत्म. देन आप इसमें देन पी के प्लस 1, ये आपका थर्ड स्टेप है. ये जो करना है, इसको करना है, लिखना है लेट और इसमें लिखना है नाउ. अगर आपको उतना लिखने का टाइम नहीं, बस समझ नहीं पा रहा, नाउ लिख दो. हमने इसको अपने मान लिया पी के. देन सेकेंड स्टेप में आप इसको पी के 1 करें. पी के 1 क्या करना है? पी के 1 का टाइम सेम इक्वेशंस को इधर लिखना है, ठीक है. सेकेंड इक्वेशन को करना है, बट इसमें वही चीज मैं बताना चाह रहा हूँ, क्या आपको ध्यान रखना है. यही इक्वेशन पे लिखने टाइम लिखना है 1 प्लस 2 प्लस 3 प्लस डॉट डॉट डॉट. इन तो हमने के बना दिया ना, तो हम लिखेंगे इसमें प्लस के. हाँ, यहाँ तक तो हो गया, यहाँ तक मैंने बना दिया. इक्वल टू साइन देने से पहले, बिफोर इक्वल टू साइन, इसमें मैंने एक न्यू के प्लस 1 ऐड करना है. तो क्या हो जाएगा? के प्लस 1. ये हमने मैं इसको कलरिंग कर देता हूँ सो दैट आपको याद रहेगा. कर्सर काम आगे चला गया, पकड़ में नहीं आता क्योंकि हाँ. सो ये वाला जो पोर्शन है, हाँ ठीक है ना, ये पोर्शन जो है मैंने, ये देखिए इसको जो है इसी हिसाब से के प्लस 1 के हिसाब से कर दिया. नाउ कमिंग टू हियर, ब्लैक कर देता हूँ. और राइट हैंड साइड में जो है ये वाला पोर्शन जो है क्या होगा? ए का जगह में के प्लस 1 ब्रैकेट का अंदर में के प्लस 1 और एक 1 है ऑलरेडी ना, दिस इज ऑल्सो प्लस 1 ब्रैकेट क्लोज. नाउ divided by 2. ओके, बस हो गया, कम खत्म। ओनली इस जगह आपको ध्यान रखना है, ये इसको सीधा नहीं बनाना, इसको भी इसको रखना है, यहां तक रखना है। फिर ये वाला पोर्शन को ये वाला पोर्शन जो है, जब नेक्स्ट स्टेप में जाओगे यहाँ तक जो है, इसका वैल्यू यहीं पर ध्यान रखना, वैल्यू को पुट अप करना है। क्या वैल्यू लिखना है? ये ऑलरेडी इसका वैल्यू हमारा आ गया ना, सेम वैल्यू, इसका जो वैल्यू हम लोग इक्वेशन में था वो वैल्यू उसमें पुट अप करना है। ठीक है, क्लियर हुआ है कि नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो इमीडिएट डिलीट कैसे करें? डिलीट डिलीट डिलीट,
But actually, you can increase that size of erasure from size panel.
तो इसको जो राइटिंग पोर्शन भी लिखना है, थोड़ा बहुत जो भी है लास्ट पे कैलकुलेट करने के बाद लिखना है। तो ये स्टेप याद रखोगे हो जाएगा, इसमें कुछ है ही नहीं, कुछ भी है। पहला स्टेप में you have to put n is equal to 1, then pk then p plus 1, that's all, और कुछ नहीं। सो आई थिंक लास्ट एक लाइन में लिख देता हूँ, थोड़ा सा आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा इसका आंसर एक्चुअली। देन इसका लास्ट क्या हो जाएगा मैं बताता हूँ। तो हो जाएगा इसका वन प्लस 2 प्लस 3 प्लस डॉट 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 प्लस k प्लस k plus 1 is equal to k plus 1, okay। divided by 2, then plus k plus 1. दैट्स ऑल. इसके बाद आपको कैलकुलेट करना, ये आपको कैलकुलेट करना है दिस पार्ट. तो ये हो जाएगा आपको इक्वल टू ये प्लस 1 प्लस जिस 2 इधर मल्टीपल हो जाएगा तो हो जाएगा 2 ब्रैकेट में k प्लस 1 then divided by 2. ओके, हो गया. तो दिस वे आपको कैलकुलेट करके आपको उसको इक्वली देखना हो जाएगा. नो प्रॉब्लम. अल्टीमेटली इसमें देखिए फॉर्मूला में आ गया ना, फैक्टराइज ऑलरेडी हो गया, तो आप इसको शॉर्ट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज आपसे दिस पोर्शन को आप इधर भी है, इधर भी है k प्लस 1, सो यू कैन राइट k प्लस 1 1 और इधर हो जाएगा k प्लस 2 डिवाइडेड बाई 2. हो गया. तो ए वाला पूछने के उसे राइट हैंड साइड के साथ मैच हो जाएगा. जैसे मैच हो जाएगा अप्रूव कर दीजिए. सो ओके, आई थिंक
Right, sir.
सो आई थिंक इट इज नॉट प्रॉब्लम. प्रैक्टिस कर लीजिए, आपको आराम से हो जाएगा. कोई दिक्कत, ज़्यादा दिक्कत वाली बात है ही नहीं.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I think stop sharing. So I think now time is almost over. So I think now I close the recording and then ठीक है. any doubt आप बता देना. If you feel any doubt